You gotta hear this one. This human walks into a tavern, and there's an elf there, and she says... she says...
She says...
Oh yeah, I remember now. You have a lot of nerve coming here.
This is my camp, Ogren.
Oh, no you don't. You can't come swishing in here and take over the warden's camp just like that. I'll fight you with my sodding weapon, you moss-biting poetess.
Poetess?
You came and stole my own princess with your poetry.
You think I'm Hespeth?
Your disguise can't fool me, woman. That's right. You keep looking at me like that, I'll just go get my pants from that sodding dog.
Do you remember our discussion?
Yes, of course.
I just wanted to tell you that I thought about what you told me, and you were right. Despite what Marjolaine says, I am not like her. I know that now. I've found peace in knowing the Maker, and nothing will change that. I've followed you to make the world a better place, and as long as I keep that in mind, I will not fall. Sometimes, it takes another to show us the truths we hide from ourselves.
It was my pleasure.
I'm glad I left Lothering in your company. You have proven a true friend, and I thank the Maker for you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You led me to an errand. You persisted, even though I was sure all you were going to find was a dead end.
I'm glad I could help.
I will never be able to repay you for what you've done for me. Finding an errand allowed me to bring that chapter of my life to a close. I feel free. A great weight has been lifted off my heart. This moment, it feels like the moment before the sunrise, when all the world is still, holding its breath, waiting for first light. I can stop thinking about my past and look forward to the future. Thank you, my friend. You will always have my gratitude. Have you heard much about the Grey Wardens of old?
I know they soared through the skies on griffins.
Griffins. Alas, that seems to be the only thing people remember from the tales. The mighty flying mounts that bore the Grey Wardens into battle.
Well, I wish I had a griffin.
Unfortunately, they've all passed back into the Maker's hand. So that wish will have to go unfulfilled. It was said that watching the Wardens ride in on their white griffins was enough to rouse a weary heart and put the dance back in the step of an old man. The Grey Wardens were powerful, feared and respected, but they also inspired the common people. I remember a tale that was told to me many years ago.
Go on.
The blight had ravaged the land for months, and the armies of the great kings had amassed for one last stand. As the sun burst through the clouds that boiled and churned in the dark sky above, it illuminated a vast, seething horde of darkspawn, with the archdemon at its head. And it was then, when courage seemed to fail, and all lost to death and despair, that the Grey Wardens came. They arrived with the beating of wings like mighty war drums, and stood before the armies of men.
Were there griffins?
Yes, griffins. Now listen to the rest of the story. The Grey Wardens, grim and fearless, marched forth, ever between the men and the encroaching darkspawn. They formed a shield of their own bodies and held that line until the archdemon was dead, and the last darkspawn lay trampled in the dirt. And then, demanding neither reward nor recognition for their sacrifice, the Grey Wardens departed. When the clouds finally rolled back and the sun shone full upon the blighted ground, the great kings knew that they had lost no men, and none of their blood had been spilled.
This story isn't about a specific battle, is it?
You are observant. This is a tale about no battle the Grey Wardens have fought, and yet about them all. They have always defended us from the darkspawn, taking losses so we do not have to. People may have forgotten over the centuries, But nothing has changed. This knowledge has been blessing and burden to Grey Warden's past. And now, it shall be your blessing and your burden.
As a Grey Warden, I'll never lead a normal life, will I?
No, you won't.
I already knew the answer. Don't know why I asked.
Because you were not looking for the answer, but for someone to tell you that in spite of it, you'll be all right. You wonder sometimes, don't you? If your life would be better if you weren't who you are.
It's on my mind constantly.
When I was a young woman in the tower, I came to the realization that the circle would be my life, and I would know no other. Family, love, a simple life. These were things that others took for granted, that I would never have.
And this upset you.
It made me very moody. All I could think of was being trapped in that tower with no way out and no end in sight. I started hating my life and myself, and one night I found myself in the tower's chapel. I was seeking refuge, maybe answers.
Did you find anything?
I must have looked tearful or made some noise, because the revered mother came out and decided to speak to me. And because I had no one else to talk to, I talked to her. I must have said many silly things, but she told me that the Maker puts us all on our paths for a reason, and fighting our intended course is what causes so much anguish.
And that made you feel better?
I thought the old biddy was full of rubbish. I was 15, maybe 16, and I knew everything. So I left, but I always found my way back to that chapel. And as the years passed, I began to see the truth of her words. We were supposed to be polar opposites, mage and priest. But we weren't. There was much about us that was the same.
But priests have to choose to be priests. Mages don't.
Not all priests choose their path. Some children are given to the chantry to raise and become initiates. The revered mother had lived in the chantry all her life, as I had been in the tower for all of mine. She taught me that you can find your family in the people around you, that you can love your work and find fulfillment in duty. And there is joy even in self-sacrifice. If you put others before yourself, then their well-being is yours, and their happiness is your happiness.
Would you hate me if I said you were full of rubbish?
No, I wouldn't. As I mentioned, I once thought the same thing of someone else. You can scream and cry and be angry about life as a Grey Warden, or you can accept it and allow yourself to see the good in it. This is your choice.
I did not thank you. It occurs to me now that you have freed me from the crows, and yet I did not think to thank you for it. No matter why you did it, it was done, and I the benefactor. So, thank you.
We're friends, Evron. I was glad to do it.
You say that so quickly, and yet it is an odd thing for me to hear. In the crows, we do not have friends, and yet here you are, and I cannot help but consider you such.
We are comrades in arms.
Then allow me to say this. What we are doing here, stopping the Blight, I cannot think of anything I have ever done which is so worthy. I intend to see this through to the end with you. After all, someone must take responsibility for preventing your untimely death. A suitable task for a friend, yes?
I think that's an excellent plan.
Now, isn't that odd? Just a year ago, Taliesin was telling me, Zevran, why are your plans always so horrid? Planning has never been my strong suit. Now, killing and lovemaking. Killing and lovemaking and witty retorts. Those I am better at. I forget where I was going with this. Well, no matter.
We've been through a lot together now. We're like old war buddies. So I figured why not invite you to share a drink, huh? A drink from my own stash, my family's recipe, and dedicated to my comrades in arms.
Finally, I get to taste Ogren's famous brew.
Yes! The Warden steps up! You handled that like a champion, my friend. Most impressive. How do you feel?
Was there even alcohol in there?
That's the spirit! I just wanted to tell you, After all we've been through, you're like family to me. Closest thing I've had in years.
I feel the same way.
Oh, Warden, I do believe I'm getting all misty-eyed. But that could be because those beans are getting chatty, if you know what I mean.
I was just thinking about what happened to the elves, and I'm reminded of a song sung to me many years ago. It was when my mother died, and this wise elven woman comforted me and told me that we shouldn't fear death or hate it. Death is just another beginning. One day, we must all shed our earthly bodies to allow our spirits to fly free.
I, for one, am in no hurry to let my spirit fly free.
It's a beautiful sentiment, I think. One that brings peace and hope to the grieving.
It's you! The Grey Warden! Andraste's mercy that you got here when you did. I thought for sure these monsters were going to get me.
What happened? Where is everyone?
They all fled to the castle this morning, before the Darkspawn arrived. I thought I could make it to my home and back before they got here, but it took me too long to get down here. What a relief you arrived.
You should get to safety.
I'm going to get out of here before any more of those things arrive. Thank you again. Shall be done.
you're here. Thank goodness.
Where's Arl Eamon?
He's inside with Riordan of the Grey Wardens, who arrived this morning just ahead of the Darkspawn. I was told he has urgent news and to send our patrols to watch for your arrival. Then we were attacked.
Let's go. No more delays.
I should take you to the hall right away, my lord. They'll be waiting for you there.
It's a relief to see you unharmed. And you as well, Alistair. Or should I say your majesty?
No, I wouldn't say that. Not yet, anyway.
The Darkspawn that attacked Redcliffe were relatively few in number, I'm afraid. It was assumed the Horde was marching in this direction, but that is not true.
Riordan tells us that the bulk of the Horde is in fact heading towards Denerim. They are perhaps 2 days away from the capital.
What? Are we sure about that? I mean, if that's true...
I ventured close enough to listen in, as it were. I am quite certain.
Why did we think they were headed here?
The Darkspawn line is wide, and many of them roam away from the main Horde. Until now, most of them have been spotted here in the west.
Not to mention that we've been too busy killing each other to pay much attention to some silly old Darkspawn Horde.
There is, I'm afraid, one other piece of news that is of even greater concern. The Archdemon has shown itself. The dragon is at the head of the Horde.
Make her preserve us.
But we can't reach Denerim within 2 days, can we? It's too far.
We must begin a forced march to the capital immediately with what we have. Denerim must be defended at all costs.
I agree. We've collected an army. Let's use it.
The Horde must be defeated, but the Archdemon is our true target. And only the Grey Wardens can defeat the Archdemon. That is why we must go.
Then we march, and hope the army we've collected here gives us the chance we need. Arl Eamon, how long before the army can set out?
By daybreak.
Then let's get them ready. I won't let all those people die without giving them a chance.
Then we're off to war. Let's do it.
I will give the orders at once, and will notify you the moment we are ready to march.
That would be appreciated.
Then if you and Alistair could meet me before you retire, we have Grey Warden business to discuss.
I will have someone show you to your rooms. I suggest you all get some rest while you can. We will need it. I suppose it remains to be seen what sort of king Alistair will make. Personally, I think the lad will do far better than he believes. He is Merrick's son, whether he sees it or not. He has a good heart. I can think of no better qualification.
Shouldn't Alistair be staying here?
He insists on going. How can I say no? I am uneasy with the danger he puts himself in by accompanying you. I ask myself if he does not conspire to leave the throne to Honora after all. But Alistair knows his duty. He will do what is best. Right now, he believes that is assisting you in contacting your allies.
Are there any other allies we can use?
We have sent messengers to Orlais. With any luck, the Empress will send us help within a week. I think it entirely possible, however, that she has written Ferelden off as a lost cause already, and will seek to defend her empire first. Perhaps the Grey Wardens of Orlais will be able to march and reach us in time. We should not rely on their arrival, even so.
And what word have we from Orzammar? Has House Claret sent their men, or haven't they?
They're stalling, which is as good as a no. House Claret's feud with House Romald has flared up again since their son died in that Deep Roads business. So naturally they're pleading the need for self-defense.
Fine time to start with that nonsense again. I've half a mind to... Evening to you, Grey Warden. I didn't realize you were still up and about.
Is there a problem with the Dwarven forces?
Nothing that can be dealt with now, I'm afraid. Just one of the houses being thicker than the stone that made them.
Once all of this blight business is done, there will be a reckoning in the Assembly. They're probably half hoping we'll all wind up dead. That way they'll have one of the strongest forces left in Orzammar. Enough to face the Darkspawn all on their own, I suppose? That's exactly the kind of half-arsed thinking that got us into the mess after Endrin passed. It was our good fortune that you decided to go to Orzammar when you did, Grey Warden. For all that a surfacer needed our help, I expect we needed yours more.
Shouldn't you all be resting?
Resting? Who can rest after the march we had just getting here? You tall races have it so easy.
That, and we're kept up thinking about the coming battle.
Are things truly that desperate?
Do we stand a chance of losing?
We will find a way to win. We must.
I hope you're right. Under the open sky is a terrible place to consider dying, that's for sure.
Right. Off to camp with both of you, and keep the drunkenness to a minimum. We have a long way to go yet. Pleasant evening to you, Grey Warden, and good fortune on the field of battle.
Good evening, my lord. It is an honor to meet you.
How is everything in the castle?
There was some groaning after the men received word about the coming race to Denerim tomorrow, but nothing serious. I think many are uneasy about facing the Great Horde. We will be outnumbered, it is said, but we have no choice. There are thousands of innocents in Denerim. My own family is there.
We will save them. Don't worry about that.
Thank you. You can't imagine what a relief it is to hear you say that.
There seems to be a large number of guards here.
We are concerned that Darkspawn assassins might be sent into the camp to harm you or the king. No doubt you could defend yourself from such an attack, but we would prefer you to rest easy. For a few hours, at least.
How do you feel about the coming battle?
I am not certain. On one hand, I yearn for the capital to be defended. There are so many lives at stake. But it feels as if we are rushing to our doom. Do you truly feel that we have a chance of winning?
Of course we'll win.
I hope you are right. I will pray for it.
Good evening, soldier.
Of course, my lord. Good luck to you.
You're both here. Good. You're new to the Grey Wardens, and you may not have been told how an archdemon is slain. I need to know if that is so.
You mean there's more to it than just, say, chopping off its head?
So it is true. Duncan had not yet told you. I had simply assumed. Tell me, have you ever wondered why the Grey Wardens are needed to defeat the Darkspawn?
I thought necessary might be an exaggeration.
It is no exaggeration, I'm afraid. The Archdemon may be slain, as any other Darkspawn, but should any other than a Grey Warden do the slaying, it will not be enough. The essence of the beast will pass through the taint to the nearest Darkspawn and will be reborn anew in that body. The dragon is thus all but immortal. But if the Archdemon is slain by a Grey Warden, its essence travels into the Grey Warden instead.
And what happens to the Grey Warden?
A Darkspawn is an empty, soulless vessel that a Grey Warden is not. The essence of the Archdemon is destroyed, and so is the Grey Warden.
Meaning the Grey Warden who kills the Archdemon dies?
Yes. Without the Archdemon, the blight ends. It is the only way.
Is there no other way? Must the Grey Warden die?
As far as we know, the transfer of the Archdemon's essence is automatic. If one of us is not present when the killing blow is made, it is all for nothing. There is no other way. For what it's worth, I'm sorry.
Why is this such a secret? Why doesn't everyone know this?
We keep it secret for the same reason the joining is kept secret. Who would become a Grey Warden if they knew the end that might await them? And yet there must be Grey Wardens. Without us, there is no hope.
So it's up to the three of us to kill this thing.
In Blight's past, when the time came, the eldest of the Grey Wardens would decide which amongst them would take that final blow. If possible, the final blow should be mine to make. I am the eldest, and the taint will not spare me much longer. But if I fail, the deed falls on you. The Blight must be stopped now, or it will destroy all of Ferelden before the rest of the Grey Wardens can assemble. Remember that. But enough. There will be much to do tomorrow, and little enough time to rest before it. I will let you return to your rooms.
I will see you once the army is ready to march, then. I guess this ends soon. One way or another.
That it does, my friend. That it does.
Do not be alarmed. It is only I.
Morrigan, is everything all right?
I am well. 'Tis you who are in danger. I have a plan, you see. A way out. The loop in your hole. I know what happens when the Archdemon dies. I know a Grey Warden must be sacrificed, and that sacrifice could be you. I have come to tell you that this does not need to be.
Does not need to be? What do you mean?
I offer a way out. A way out for all the Grey Wardens, that there need be no sacrifice. A ritual. Performed on the eve of battle, in the dark of night.
What sort of ritual is this?
It is old magic. From a time before the Circle of Magi was created. Some might call it blood magic, but that is but a name. There is far more to fear in this world than names.
And from where did you get this ritual, Morrigan?
From Flemeth, of course. I have known about it for some time.
So you knew about the sacrifice before Riordan told me?
I did. Would you have believed me if I had been the one to tell you? I have my doubts.
Nothing comes without a price.
Perhaps. But that price need not be so unbearable, especially if there is much to be gained. All I ask is that you listen to what I have to offer. Nothing more.
Very well. What is your plan?
What I propose is this. Lay with me, here tonight, and from our joining, a child will be conceived. The child will bear the taint, and when the archdemon is slain, its essence will seek the child like a beacon. At this early stage, the child can absorb that essence and not perish. The archdemon is still destroyed with no Grey Warden dying in the process.
Are you insane? This is your plan?
Think about what I offer you. The chance to avoid death. Or better yet, the chance to slay the archdemon and live as a hero. No Grey Warden has ever done this. In return, I conceive a child. One who will be born with the soul of an old god. After this is done, you allow me to walk away. And you do not follow. Ever. The child will be mine to raise as I wish.
Wait, I want to know more about this child.
As you wish.
The child won't be hurt, will it?
Ignoring that after but one night it could barely be called a child, no, it will not be hurt. It will be changed.
Will the child be evil? What will it become?
Allow me to say that what I seek is the essence of the old god that once was, and not the dark forces that corrupted it. Some things are worth preserving in this world. Make of that what you will.
What do you intend to do with this child?
I do not wish to tell you.
I insist. I need to know what you plan.
The child will represent freedom. For an ancient power, a chance to be reborn apart from the taint. Is that not reason enough to do it? I will raise the child apart from the rest of society and teach it to respect that from which it came. Beyond that, you need know nothing else.
This is going to be my child. Will I ever see it?
No, you never will. This is all I ask in return for freeing you from the burden the Grey Wardens have placed upon you.
I see. Enough about the child, then.
Then you have decided?
Is this why you've been so friendly to me?
It's why I was sent with you by my mother. It's why she saved your life to begin with. Caring for you was not part of the plan. But I cannot let what I feel interfere with what I must do. This is important to me. The fact that it may save your life makes me all the more determined to see it done. Please, do not cloud the issue. If you feel anything for me, then accept that it will make what we must do that much easier.
But will I ever see you again?
After the archdemon has been slain? No. No, you will never see me again. Refuse my offer, however, and I leave now. This is simply how it must be.
How do you even know this will work?
I do not know it will work. I do, however, have every confidence in my mother's magic. And so should you. What is important is that I am offering this to you now. It will work, and it will save your life.
You don't think I will actually go through with this?
Consider the possibility that Riordan may not be there to make the final blow as he plans. What then? Do you run away? Do you let Alistair, the future king of Ferelden, take the blow instead? And what if he does not make it to the archdemon either? I am glad to make this offer to you after all we have meant to each other. Certainly the act of laying together is not such a burden.
All right. I agree. I'll do it.
A wise decision. Come, my love. Put the thoughts of the ritual aside and let us make this last night together one to remember.